Next.
5, 4, 3.
My guys, let's have some post-show discussion.
Yo,
Because it's time to wrap up. But let's just talk about this for a second. We started talking about this earlier. Okay. So the question was, why you laughing?
I know what's going. Let's go.
Yeah, you know where it's going.
Let's go.
The question was, well, actually, it wasn't.
question.
So here's the deal. I sent a text.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on, I'm gonna read the text.
My man's like, we're doing this verbatim.
Yeah,
Verbatim.
you know.
No. Yeah, let's keep it real. Let's keep it authentic.
Ahem. Mahogalo.
Mahogany.
The text says, think you can come up with your personal top 5 non-super powered anime protagonists. Okay? I feel like that's a simple question. But I knew better.
Of course.
Which is why I asked, do you think you can? That's why it's worded that way.
But was it actually
I'm gonna read this.
no?
I'm gonna read the response. The Joe has a smiley face. Super powered with a question mark. Could I pick Goku? Count, for instance, since he doesn't technically have superpowers.
He didn't have to read the count. That was
It says ignore count. You said verbatim.
You know how it was meant. Ignore the count. Just go ahead.
Could I pick Goku, for instance, since he doesn't technically have superpowers? My response was, he absolutely has superpowers. And then I said, is this a discussion we need to have on camera? And then I said, or is that in the same sense that Superman doesn't have superpowers because he's an alien? So before we really dig into this, does Superman have powers?
Well, I see my man has superpowers.
Kay, does Superman have powers?
Yes.
Sin, does Superman have powers?
When he's on Earth, yes.
Well, now he has powers all the time.
Well, no, but here's the thing. Superman has powers on Apocalypse. He got powers all over the place. He don't have powers on Krypton for whatever reason. But we don't even know if that's the case because he never been to Krypton. I mean, he was a baby when he was on Krypton. Okay. We don't know. So, we can't even really say if he would have powers on Krypton or not. We can say that we know that he does get powers from our sun.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And that different sunbeam rays affect his powers differently. But Slim got powers.
Okay.
I've never seen him without powers unless he's been infected by something else that takes his powers from him. Right? I mean, all right. So, does Goku have powers?
Goku has powers.
Now, I'm not going to ask you if Goku has powers. I'm just going to ask you to say why you brought it up. What was your reasoning behind asking it?
Goku may not have been the best, what I was trying to ask. When I mentioned Goku, I was thinking of Goku as a martial artist. How how he's trained to be vicious like that. He doesn't have, a lot of anime characters don't have what I consider to be traditional superpowers. How our characters technically are superheroes and get their powers, stuff like that. A lot of them train in ninjutsu, martial arts, all that type of stuff. And through that form of training, they can shoot beams out their hands. And stuff like that.
So, does Ryu have powers? Street Fighter. Ryu, does he have powers?
I don't think he does.
You don't think he has powers?
No.
Does Blanca have powers?
I don't know Blanca's background. He wasn't one of my people growing up. I just know that you mash the button, he shoot the electricity, and he can roll the ball on the floor. But if he was,
does Johnny Cage have powers?
See, that's hard.
I don't think so.
He has that
I don't. Hold on. Scorpion. Does Scorpion have powers?
I don't think so.
Hey, no!
Wait,
I don't know about
Scorpion's dead. Scorpion's a little different. Scorpion's dead.
Yeah, but listen. Okay.
Scorpion's undead.
But then what about Sub-Zero? Sub-Zero not dead?
No, Sub-Zero's not dead, but
So what you're saying, you're saying a superpower, maybe an ability. Are you kind of weighing it like that? Are you not considering maybe an ability to be?
Does a superpower have to be something that, like, Spider-Man has superpowers because he was bit by something that gave him supernatural abilities? Like, if you have supernatural abilities but you worked for him, that doesn't.
Like
So if you have
Well, I feel
supernatural
like if you-
abilities
like-
and you worked for him, that you don't have supernatural abilities anymore.
like with Ryu, I don't consider, like, if you said that you trained in martial arts and you end up being able to shoot a fireball, I don't see that as being the same as, like, Spider-Man, who was bitten and had powers bestowed upon him. I don't look at it as being the same thing.
So Superman doesn't have powers. Batman does or doesn't.
I don't think Batman does.
Wonder Woman has powers.
See,
I'm asking a question. You tell me. In your opinion, Wonder Woman has powers?
I'm really thinking because she's a little tricky. She has that.
She's a
flight
god.
thing now.
She's a god. Goku can fly. He can fly.
I say Goku's a little, like, when I really think about Goku, I think he was a bad way of me asking
Sure,
that question.
but he's a martial artist and he trained. But
Yeah,
he trained.
I
Listen,
think he's a-
but hold on. But he trained while he was dead. He trained while he was dead with a blackface character,
with a god.
a blackface god, whatever. I'm just saying, the guy wasn't. You know.
I know what you're saying.
Yes.
He trained while he was dead and got more vicious. And everybody else who's in Dragon Ball, they train too. They train just as hard as he does, but they don't come out with the same skill level as he does.
So Dragon Ball, you gotta die to get vicious.
I mean, doesn't he? Isn't that one of the things about a saying is like, don't you get stronger when you get beat?
Krillin died multiple times.
And he's not
He's
vicious,
stronger.
so
He's stronger than he was.
That's true.
Listen,
he's the only one that's still fighting with him on a regular basis.
if Goku doesn't have powers, nobody has powers. It's like except Spider-Man and Daredevil.
Okay, but
Like Bama's who got caught in an accident.
right, but like I said, all right, I used a bad. Goku was not the greatest of references.
But here's the thing. Regardless, it doesn't matter because the subject matter is, does he have powers or not?
I'm still undecided.
So for me, it's no question. Slim got powers. There's no question about it. He has powers. He's an alien, sure. So I'm sure that has something to do with his ability to have powers. But he even has.
Okay, Goku has powers, but not all of them come from what I would consider power. Some comes from just being a martial artist.
Sure. And I would only equate some of what that is to whatever the other humans that are there have been able to achieve. Right? So, like, the things that you would say are not powers because he's a martial artist would only be things that up to, like, Yamcha's level. You know what I'm saying? Or Krillin's level or whatever, right?
Okay,
Like,
and some of those might be because he's a Saiyan. It might be capable of that because he's a Saiyan, and that's part of what his race is capable of.
so if you walked outside right now and met a human being or someone who looked like a human, but they weren't from here, and they could do things nobody else could do, and they was like, well, I just train hard. Do they have powers?
Wait, say that again?
If they can do things nobody else can do, I ain't talking about running fast. I'm not talking about being Usain Bolt.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like if you go outside right now and you meet somebody who can just fly, and they not from here,
Oh, they not from planet Earth?
nah. Do they have powers?
I think according to what our standards are, yeah, but where he's from,
But
Then that would I would apply to
maybe
Goku the same way.
But look, maybe nobody else on this planet can fly unless they here. So based on our standards, he got powers. So that means Ryu got powers. That means Goku has powers. Because Goku lives on Earth.
Mhm.
It's a strange Earth. But he lives on Earth.
Mm-hmm.
So Goku got powers. To me, Goku has powers. Like, there's no two ways about it. I think that there are things that you could do that extend, like, what the outer limits of what a human is. Like, we've seen it in real life, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, there are things that monks or martial artists who train do things and,
They'll
to stab themselves or whatever, or
take hits,
throw
and all
a
that.
pin needle through glass or whatever and pop balloons or whatever. And I'm like, yeah, I can throw a pin at the glass.
That's about it.
I will hit that glass. I'm going to hit it.
Mhm.
It ain't going through it.
Ding! Got it.
Yeah, like, I'm not going to crack it. I'm not going to shatter it.
Just gonna hit it, bounce off.
So do Naruto have powers? I consider that them studying ninjutsu, and then what they study ninjutsu, I look at it as being ninjutsu, not powers.
No, I still feel it's powers, because you know what? Good example. Take Naruto and then take Rock Lee. Rock Lee has no powers. They mentioned that he just has taijutsu and he can fight. But he does have those
He can unlock. He can
abilities
unlock the gates.
that
He can unlock the gates.
give him unfathomable strength. But they say specifically that he has no
Power
Power,
outside of
but-
that. Like, there's more to
They
it.
say-
Like,
they say he can't tap into chakra.
right. And Naruto's a demon. I mean, there's a demon in there. Am I tripping? Like,
No, yeah, he has a demon inside him.
okay. You don't think that has nothing to do with his powers, his ability, nothing? I mean, I understand that he trains, whatever, he could, whatever. To me, though, he has powers that are outside of...
Right. That might be with him, but other people in the series that might pick to answer that question, like a Rock Lee, for instance. You know what I mean? Like, who can open the 8 gates and get all this vicious strength or whatever, but, you know what I'm saying, is martial arts based, taijutsu based, which a lot of characters on there don't have powers. They use scrolls and use the hand. Like,
so saying, and actually in that case, Tintin. She doesn't have powers. She's a weapons master.
She uses the scrolls and with the weapons, yeah. I see that as ninjutsu. I don't see that as powers.
Definitely.
Is ninjutsu power, though? Like,
Oh, you
I mean,
mean
because again, because you're
taijutsu,
talking
that was-
about, I mean, you're still talking about something that is, it's not like ninjutsu's not a real martial art, right? And it's not like you can't study martial arts to do things that maybe other people can't do. But when you get into the realm of the things that they can do in that show, to me, they got powers.
But when you're looking at all the different shows and all that kind of stuff, like, everything is within that realm of that universe or whatever. So I'm just trying to understand where is the line as far as for picking for something like that. I can pick people like you're saying, like a Spike from Cowboy Bebop, for instance. You know what I mean?
Sure.
I can pick people like that. But if I can reach to somebody like that who I don't consider to have actual powers, then that opens up the realm of people I can actually pick from. I'm just trying to figure where the line is.
I don't think the line is that hard. I think you making the line difficult. That's what I think. Because I think you want to pick people that are on that line. That's what I think.
No, I really just think that way. That's all.
Nah, I got you. What I'm saying is, them dudes got powers. Like, if you saw them do any of those things here on Earth, you'd be like, oh, Slim got powers.
I'd be like, man, why I go to study that?
Right.
Right.
And they'd be like, you can't. It's his powers.
If they said that, then okay.
I'm
but,
just telling you,
nah,
that's-
you gotta join the
Only
league
one you
village.
could get away with and say not Usopp. He has no powers.
Zoro.
No.
I mean, look, at the
Sanji.
end of the day, right, like,
They don't have powers.
I think it's
Exactly.
there are certain pieces of it that are debatable. We've talked about whether or not Batman has powers or not, right? We've agreed that he does. He's a ninja. So, he's not a normal human, right? He can do things that another human being can't do. I mean, he disappears on people. Am I tripping?
Ninjas.
Right? But, in the grand scheme of things, you would say he don't have any powers.
Mm-hmm.
So, I think that's where, you know what I'm saying, where it would be. And I think it's simple. But that's cool. I'm going to put a list together. You put a list together.
That's right.
Let's see how that comes out. I'm going to let
Five.
you skip this one.
Say
Just
five.
skip this
Put
one.
this together. I'm gonna go with that. I'm gonna put
That's what we'll do. Y'all put a list together and tell us what y'all think about who has powers, who doesn't, what constitute powers. Does it matter if they're alien and they come here and they only have powers here? We want to know. All y'all Patreon supporters. Appreciate y'all. But now we out. Toodles and loos. Let's wrap it up.